Hey guys, Justin here from Simplified Investing. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. This will be our weekly watch list video highlighting the 5 plays that we are watching for the week as well as a key market breakdown. That being said, the 5 plays this week, the first one being is Oxy, second one XOM, third one NVDA, fourth one AAL, and then the fifth one being AMB. Look forward to a great week with you all and hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you. So, getting things started, for those of you who have watched the prior videos, the first thing I'm going to do is break down the market. What have we seen on the market within the past week, and then what can we expect to see within the coming week? So, looking at this from the daily chart on /NQ, which is going to be tracking the NASDAQ market, here's what I see. A lot of weakness here on the market. If you guys saw in the past videos, really the level that we wanted to see break was that 15,250 region before we got this bounce back here in the beginning of February and sell off into lows into 13,000. Well, got this move here, failed to break out again, remains the level we need to break for upside until we break 15,250 here on /NQ. Not seeing much for an upside at all on this. And in fact, weakness here, making net new lows here on more volume than this low volume bounce here that we got on last Wednesday. Thursday, pushing, creating net lows. I do think we see sub 13,800 here, 13,820 support here. Continued lows here. Would like to see a bounce if we do end up making new lows below this 12,942 region before this bounce. Looking very, very weak to the downside and expecting continued sell-off here on this one, as the market is looking very, very weak here. We had a strong sell-off here on this one too into the close on Thursday, excuse me. This low volume bounce didn't really do much, all of it getting sold off and making net lows here on the NASDAQ. So watching that 13,820 support here, really need to make a bounce here soon or we're going to push down into lows here, back down into that 13,000 region and make continued lows below that. So 15,250 for upside. Until then, still net new lows here on the NASDAQ. Continued downtrend move after this 15,250 rejection that we got here back on 329. That being said, the first play of the week, and it's really going to be the secular strength play right now, is going to be energy, oil. This is pretty much the only sector that is holding up. So this sector going to be on close watch. Oxy playing within this sector. Really what we're getting here is a basing formation. So anytime you hear of a basing formation, it's just going to be sideways consolidation like Oxy right now. You can see we get this move up to the upside on 4.8 on a lot of volume into low volume consolidation, which again, low volume consolidation is really healthy in trends. So don't let pullbacks or consolidation with low volume scare you. They are really good for continuations of trends, and that's exactly what we're seeing here on Oxy. So biggest move here is going to be through that 62 region. If we do break 62, very, very likely to see highs here at 63.24 if we can get that volume to follow through. Very, very strong base here. Strongest support here below at this 52.65 region, but making this push up here, base formation, trying to make that push and advance through 62 is going to be what we're watching within the coming week to take Oxy to the upside. Second one is going to be XOM. Now there's a lot of lines here for intraday levels here on this, but the general gist of this is going to be a cup move on the daily chart. You can see we pushed all the way up here on the highest volume on 3.8. Obvious selling pressure between 89.37 up here into 91.51, noted by the highest volume all year, and a very weak price action. However, we got the cup move here, pullback. We're trying to form another cup move and advancement to the upside. I would like to see this move ideally through this 90 region for a push to the upside. You can see how many sellers were on this back here. What day was this? Back on 3.8 where we had that high volume. This notes how many sellers were in between this 90 region all the way up to 91.50. So let's see if we can break out of 90 here for a cup move and advancement to the upside. Watching these oil plays and these energy sectors, another thing that you should keep an eye on is going to be /CL, and I will pull that up really quick. What this is going to be oil futures, and a lot of times the energy market, the energy sector, is going to be trading off of these oil futures and tracks it relatively close here. So you can see really watching through 115 on crude oil here. If we do get a breakthrough crude oil at 115, expecting continuation within XOM and Oxy to the upside here within the coming week. But going back to XOM, nice daily cup move, watching this through 90 for a continuation move to the upside. The third play, going to be NVDA, and a lot of people eyeing this one as we're coming down into the support region where we bounced back here. We bounced back here as well on 224, bounced here into 3.8, bounced here as well into 315. And now, a very, very weak candle closing here on Thursday. You can see this bounce. You can see this push to the downside. Still very, very weak here. Low volume bounce. Sellers still in control of NVIDIA here. Biggest level I want to see is if we do crack below this 205 region, really going to be watching puts on NVIDIA very, very closely. I do think we see sub 200 panic selling and a lot of stop losses being hit if we do break below this strong support. So keep that on watch. Really two ways I'm going to be watching to play this: continued lows through 205, or if we get a bounce to 200, push into 205 rejection and then move to the downside. But again, NVIDIA looking very, very weak here. Yes, we are approaching this triple bottom, but if this triple bottom breaks, expect a lot of stop loss orders being hit on that support break and a continued move to the downside. So going to keep this one on watch, just waiting on that breakdown here below that 205 region for a sell-off into sub 2,000, or 200, excuse me. Fourth play, one that we've traded recently on volume, and one thing to note on this one is it does have earnings on 4/21 before market open, and anytime you have earnings, you're going to have inflated premiums. You have to calculate that into your risk management before you do get into the position, but trying to break out of the sideways consolidation move here, I want to see a hold through 1924. You can see on Thursday, we pushed into this 1924 region. You can see sellers dominated this from 1950 all the way to the close here at 19. Watching if we can hold through 1924. If we do, I think we can get an upside push on this one and move into 20. You can see we failed this level multiple times back here before selling off, multiple times in January before selling off into the support and push down here into $12. So hold through 1924, going to have this one on close watch for the upside this week. I do think we can see that move through 20. Keep in mind, it does have earnings, so that does add added volatility, increases the IV on the contracts, makes the option premiums move less with the underlying, as it is going to be very inflated for the earnings this week. Last play of the week, going to be one in the semiconductor sector as well. And this is kind of a similar setup as to what I'm looking for on NVIDIA, but this setup has already fallen through. So you get a lot of people that were watching this 100 support region, right? Almost every single person watching AMD was taking this at that 100 support region. And where does that 100 support region from? Well, it bounced here 7 times off of the support region. You can see we try to hold here, and sellers are completely dominant on here. You're getting a lot of people stopping out of this as it broke this quadruple bottom here. It actually touched multiple times, breakdown here. You can see a lot of people getting stopped out as we did fail to hold that 100 region. Now, 100 is going to be a very strong resistance above. You can see anytime this strong of a support breaks and you get a bounce, it is going to be a very, very strong resistance. But I do think we can see sub 90 here this week on AMD. Really, the key level that I'm watching is going to be this 92 support region. If we do break that, I do think we push down into sub 90. A very, very strong support region below at 80, 78, 96, but highly unlikely to reach that within the week. However, very, very weak. I do think we see continued lows here on AMD. We'll be eyeing this one intraday to trade puts on this, taking it to the downside. One thing to note, this one does have earnings not until May 3rd, but just keep that in mind if you are playing that week's expiration. So, that being said, that wraps up our weekly watch list video for the week. If you did enjoy this video, if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. If you are interested in getting our private course, alerts, and more, feel free to check out SimplifiedInvesting.com today. We would love to have you guys on board. Hope you guys all have a great Easter and had a great extended trading weekend. Thank you, guys.